Keep it real at all time. Can't go in my head, you know. Can me dissect things. Where's the Paul? There. Alright, so in the morning I was in the paper, still a send out and still a old name. But you know, say me run here, so I call name, you know. You ever keep it real. Yeah? Yeah, man. Yeah, man, I keep it real, man. You see me I say? Yeah. So, you know, I call name, saying, so hear this now. And it can run out. But what I do now, you know, sometimes when you call a name, you make it seem like boom, bam, bam, bam. So I go into the whole rundown. Yeah, so keep it real. So, Robert Chin, where the paper and let go, they must say a prominent, relative of a prominent, you know, politician. You know, a politician. So, a Mikael Phillips, brother by mother's side. Right? And, you know, somebody, you know, some people are send out some little things where play a little go round. You know, I think I'm bigger, must be mother big son. Then she married to Peter, and Peter they break up, and then Peter will get some other sons, have him family. So somebody, you know, I send on and say Peter for the grandson, not no go so. Yeah, not no go so. And then Mikael now, live film life. And I like a brother this way, yeah, power with like what I see now. Because I know about corruption and all kind of little things, you know. So him now, the youth time there, the brethren there, halfway through same way. Him depend dialysis. So him do him one thing. You know what to see him name Chin and expand name where him name and keep. But keep it real, man. So we know it's a little later because a man just call me look a while and I tell me somebody I try use it to make a political football. So me I explain to him, tell him, so no, so if me, come here, let me tell you this. Me a bigger sister too, you know. Before my mom, me a bigger sister. Me not mention it, right? Me not have to mention that. See? So sometimes, you know, your dad, you get other kid. Your mom get kid before. Them I live my life, me I live my life. What is corruption now? When politician involved in a corruption. So me wanna go time Mikael to him mother's son. Because when me and him have connection, because I'm a mother's son, you tie me. That no make no sense. Okay, so me play Mikael here, so. Me play with them say yes, and then I play something too, right? Watch this. Police say relative of prominent Jamaican nab in airport cocaine bus. Alright, watch this now. Jamaican American man who police so say is the relative of a prominent member of society has been taken into custody following a major cocaine bust at the Norman Man International Airport in Kingston on Monday. The police have, however, withheld the identity of the individual who is being held on reasonable suspicion of breaches of the Dangerous Drug Act, the source told the Jamaica Observer on Tuesday. Released from the Constable Corporate Communication Unit, approximately 12 kilograms of cocaine with an estimated street value of over 600,000 was seized during a security check after anomalies were detected in a blue suitcase destined for United States. The police source disclosed that the would-be passenger who was scheduled to depart on JetBlue to Fort Lauderdale attempted to check in a suitcase loaded with cocaine. After being identified by airline agent at the boarding gate, the suspect managed to slip away while waiting to be escorted for a suitcase to be checked. He left. So them pick up something on the suitcase and them same run, right? The location and departed the airport before he was held by police. A manhunt was launched by the Jamaica Constable Fort Narcos Division, Kingston 6 area, and the suspect was apprehended. The police went and did a search of the address, and that is connected to him. And he was persuaded to report to the police after conversation, the source said. The narcotics police are continuing investigation into the matter. Up to press time, the source said the police were waiting for the suspect to retain the service of an attorney to begin questioning. Dangerous drug allow the monitoring and control against the illicit use of specific narcotic drugs such as cocaine, morphine, yeah, them continue. Yeah, so when I go through that. So, Chin Robert Chin, in the dialysis 3 times a week. So I'm going to run down. Dialysis, he might do 3 times a week. He might do film one thing. Big man do film one thing. Get caught. If you get caught, go pay you. Go deal with the consequences. But they have people call me now and say, yeah, because tight into to a go on now and boom bam bam and make we run with it and say boom bam. And I say, yeah, but and I said go with me. Remember I said me chat straight, you know. Say somebody can do all away. We have brothers and things, and when you mix up with them and you and them do the same thing, that make the difference. See? Say you are your one big man, you know. Can me have what you think? When I have siblings, me have no siblings. Maybe it's about my family and my wife and my kids and grandkids and anything there. Me have siblings. So my siblings don't live nowhere. Me don't know when them are going with what have you. Live all over the world. That's it go. Yeah, man. See? So them want to put it together and say yes, because through the cocaine we bust in a St. Mary, they must say, yeah, we could just tie it up and say boat and this and that, but you can't tie a man when I deal with that. So the man I deal with this. So if you want to tie the brother here, what did the rest of brother them do? This is what the brother them do? You say the big man here. Mikael Phillips, mother, son, the one with them board yesterday. Mikael Phillips, and they want to turn it in a political football. No, but see Mikael, that the Chin is before, I think, Mikael, and then Mikael, you know, father, you know. And some people tell me, no, Peter Phillips' grandson, not like that, foolishness. Yes. All right, so Mikael that said about it, some brother here, Mikael that live film life. So, let me just see this. I'm proud of my brothers, Luke and Jacob, both been called to the bar. So great to see you grow into fine young men that have love and respect, brothers. So, they might call that this at 2021. So, they not talk about this, but you know, they want to turn some little things pan where they want to turn it pan. So, make we look pan this, see, brothers them there and that and that. So mother did have a son, yeah, Robert Chin, yeah. Got nothing to do with Peter Phillips, like where, you know, me and somebody tell me, you know, Peter Phillips, you know, wife Sandra, kids them, yeah. Remember him have a first wife before, you know, and then, you know, then they part up and then him have him wife, him have big kids there. Now nothing to do with Peter Phillips. Yeah, man. So some people call me and you know, I make it out as say, man, Peter Phillips. Grandson, I said, and I'm not to do with Peter Phillips and grandson. Peter Phillips, you might have a baby mother or a wife before, and then she gets some youth before you or something. That have nothing to do with you. You see me, I say, but them just took out for somebody to tie. Well, if it have something to do with you, if you would mix up with, whether a stranger, you mix up with him now and I do some things, unlawful, then we're going to burn you. But if a man live him life out there, so you understand? All right. For instance, so when we turn to the past education minister, saying when you turn to him, yeah, when we turn to him, I'll be him though. So I for burning. Oh, Conrad O'Brian, how are you doing, sir? New Stark.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm good, man.
How are you doing, my brother?
I'm good, my brother. I'm good. Hey, me just talk about me just show Mikael Phillips and him brother them a turn liar and thing, because some people call me and they must say the brother with them all you know, I'm mother son. But then I have nothing to do with him. I think I'm bigger brother too. Now I have nothing to do with him, bigger brother. Yeah, him have him brother brothers and everything. Yeah, that have nothing to do with him. If him did not corruption, no, we could have blazed some fire. Pan him, because you know me not ramp and blaze fire, but they can't turn that in a political football when the man live film life with wife and kids and everything. Let me just show him before you say something. See me, Mikael, yeah? See, this is Mother's Day thing from Mikael. See, happy Mother's Day, my two mothers, Minnie
that I
Mini
and
Sandra.
Yeah, man. Of course, a lot of persons know Minnie. She was famous for that restaurant in, I think, the Aqua Tree area, Minnie's restaurant. So for years, she had a vegetarian restaurant or a natural food restaurant, So, and one knows that she severed relationship with Dr. Phillips, and her severed relationship years ago. Dr. Phillips remarried, have adult children, as they just mentioned. Two of them were just called to the bar recently, so they are doing very, very well for themselves. And as you mentioned, that brother, as they would say, some people still you go about talking about half brother. So in the sense, it would be Mikael's half brother, the person in question, the person that is alleged to be in connection with that with that find of illicit substance. So all in all I would say, Wayne, we have to be very careful, because you, Wayne, and myself, we have adult children.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And if my adult son decide to go and do something, what the dickens did me as his father now would have to do with that? I will all would happen. I would be very, very saddened for my son, because it's flesh and blood. So once your relative get involved in something, you have a sympathy, a soft spot. But as it relates to the responsibility, you can't share that responsibility. And if I may even go further away, since people would want to go down that road, let's look at a scenario now that is directly linked. The rice, the bad rice that was recently imported into Jamaica.
Yes.
By Christopher and his son, because you can't make a distinction there. They're in one company. He's the sole director.
No, he's the sole director. He's the sole director. The health minister is the sole director, and then put him son as a... No, he's the sole shareholder and put him son as the director. He was the director and then put him son. So you know that name corruption. I show you talk about real corruption now. That
absolutely. Yes. And we have to deal with it. And I'm going to say this, and I don't want to be unkind to my brother, because he's a friend. I regard him as a friend, and we appear on various programs together and so on. And as a matter of fact, I have him slated to appear on my program soon. I'm talking about my friend Jeffrey Tavares, and I'm compelled to put it out there, because even since morning I had to speak with him in a particular manner, because this argument, Wayne, about the two of them are the same as soon as you raise the argument. I am tired of it, and I don't want to hear
but this is not a political thing. This itself is not a political thing, brother. This is not a political... No. Me have other brothers. You know that. We have siblings. And not even with son neither, but a brother that make it worse. Remember, me have other siblings where me not even talk about. Me not know how them live. Me not go to them house. My mama, my damn die, so me not know nothing about them. So uncle, you gotta look at me and say, Lone, so me not go them house. Me have siblings who me not see over 30 years, brother. 30 years. And me not know about them. Me not want to see them neither, nothing at all. But and it no bother me. You see? Because this is just my thing, right? And that me I tell you straight up. See? So now my thing that. So not like me I worry, me just want to live. Me have wife and kids and grandkids, and me good. See? So if something happen now, what am I do? Look at me and say, oh, him have a name, call my name. That don't make no sense.
Absolutely. If we're serious about building this rock, really, and this paradise, yes, in terms of its beauty and just the God-given nature of Jamaica, if we are prepared to build this rock, then certainly we have to get rid of this argument about the two of them and whole government responsible. If it is the PNP in office, it's the PNP we will hold responsible. If it's the JLP, it's the JLP we will hold responsible. Because we have to move the threshold higher. Remember that the party in power, they are the one who have the fiduciary responsibility. That means they are the one who hold this purse string. They spend with money, with taxes.
That is it. Yes. Yes.
I don't want to hear the foolishness, Papa.
No, because it don't make no sense. All right, so I'm going to ask them something when them come up with foolishness. You know, say Tavares, right? So I'm going to play this, Jeffrey Tavares. So I'm going to play this. Just listen to this.
First this evening, alleged gang leader Christopher Linton, otherwise called Dogpaw, was shot and killed by police in the Elliston Flats area of St. Andrew today. Kirk Wright was there and now reports.
The alleged gang leader was shot on Golding Road in the Ellison Flats area, near the back gate to the University of the West Indies. On the scene, a pair of ladies' shoes, a camouflage hat, and blood stains, an indication of the spot where Linton possibly fell after he was shot. The police have since released a statement that after they signaled a Nissan Tiida traveling along Golding Road to stop, Linton came out firing at them, and in return, they fired back, killing him. A source told us a .45 pistol was taken from Linton after he was shot. We understand that a female was traveling in the car and it's believed she was the driver. For now, her identity has been withheld, but the police say she will be questioned. Across from the car on the scene, we saw spent casings fired from both high-powered weapons and handguns. Indicom is investigating. On June 26, Linton, who resided on Florence Avenue, was shot by gunmen in Cane River, some distance away from where he resided. At the time, police say Linton told them he was shot outside his gate, but the police say their investigations proved otherwise. Linton was convicted for illegal possession of a firearm in 2013, but his conviction was overturned and he was released in April. At that time, Linton told the media, freedom is a must. Kirk Wright.
Okay, so Linton, you know who is Linton, right? Who was Linton?
Mr. Paul. Mr. Paul.
And you know who was his kid? Who I'm kid them? Let me just tell you now. Who I'm kid them grandfather at the time of his death? Kid grandfather.
Share with our listeners.
Tavares Fenson, the president of
the president of the Senate.
Yes. A film daughter, you know, say man, she take her back and them dead. That's the same man will lose some gun and thing. So, you know, I'm father-in-law that. I see him daughter go back to them. So, you know, saying she in the house and everything and gun miss now we don't know what go on and them things. So when we talk about corruption, we can just put some things together and try to show you. Right?
And at the same time, in terms of who his daughter decide to meet with and have children with, he has no control over that.
Nah, but you know, you can't come on my house if me had the certain things and that my gun miss me.
There you go.
There as a dad. So I mean, I have control over that. I have control over my place.
Over who come in your space?
Yes. You understand? You understand? So I have control over who come in my space. You see? So these are the things I show you. So if you can't take something and go and play, you know, and play a little thing with it, we know that. You know, what we are talking about now, you've tell about, because we know, say you have some link now, some real link now, we are talking about the Cork port over in St. Mary. We're not talking about the 12th key now, we're talking about 1000 key. Eh?
Yes, and it is important, Wayne.
Yes.
It is important, Wayne, that Renegade, you know, I mean, yes. I love that name, Wayne.
Yes.
Renegade, this is important. It is important that we call it right. We call out all these things, because if you have a situation where the police said there was a female traveling in the car,
yes, or she don't get charged.
As we understand it, people are normally charged jointly.
Of course.
So the fact that Linton was in our car with gun and so on,
and she had a getaway driver.
It would be important to get an update from the assistant or deputy commissioner of police, Mr. Fitzbailey, in charge of crime. Where is this investigation? Was that person questioned? And what is the present status of this case? You see, this to Jamaica in a way.
Yes.
It is a darn shame. We can point to the youngster, the poor youngster from inner city Kingston, that simply said something about the Prime Minister. And no less a person than a senior superintendent. As a matter of fact, I think at the time he was acting assistant commissioner of police. Steve McGregor went under his bed for him. But here you have situation where known criminal, according to the police, engaged them in a shootout. A female was in the car, and we don't hear nothing at all about that investigation.
Make her add to it. So the female, she was the getaway driver. Them say she was driving the car. So if you drive the car and I drive a criminal, right away is a charge that. And I just question, remember him shoot out for the police, that make it worse. So you are trying to lose the police, because them signal if to stop. So why you don't get charged?
Exactly.
You don't need no question, you have to get charged. If you're in prison.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So it's a setup that she drive him going out where them want to do and get rid of him. Eh? You talk straight, you know.
Some very serious question must be answered, Wayne. The center has simply broken. Mere anarchy is loose upon the land. And from all these indicators that we are seeing, it seems as if Jamaica is on the road of being a failed state. All the indicators are pointing in that direction of a failed state. It's amazing.
So when them get something like this now, somebody do them thing and say, okay, we can spin this, put in other people them head and then run with it, you know, and say, yes, this is over, brother. Them are very, because you have so much thing with them and you know. When you're handing us something, it's different from when, you know, somebody connect to me. You have a sibling and you call them name and say, oh, I want some sibling, I want some cousin, this, that mean. It's well want some live, some live.
Yeah, it's of no moment. If you want to do some serious work, you know, some serious police work, and find if there's any connection in any skullduggery with that connect person to persons and things like that. But just by virtue of saying it is somebody's brother, that's of no moment.
That's but why don't? But you're politically motivated for even say that. Why not talk about him father? Because most of the time you want to talk about the father or the mom. So when you go to the brother, you know, it connected, you know, a prominent person in a what. When you talk about him father, and father bring him him and mother.
Exactly.
What brother have to do with you? Me just we might have the same mother and same father. What me have to do with you? Unless me have to crime with you. Say me not do crime with you, but you identify me. You name Chin, me name Phillips. If you not talk, nobody don't know.
Same, sir.
You understand? Talk my brothers and sisters, them are brown.
Frankly speaking, I must tell you that I didn't even know about that he has a brother named Chin.
No, because in the Bible talk about that brother. You hear about Philip, because a bigger brother, you know. See them man, they depend on them one long time, so yeah, bigger brother.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you understand? So you bigger than me, you live your life. Me come up and live my life. This is what me turn out to be. You know, like me born and grown and get about this is what me, you know, more want to do. Me have people on my power who me carry on my show. But them come off of that true brother. But when me I tell them the right thing, them just see it with politics and them go do what them want to do and them end up bad and them just understand. Come off of that true. Me and them power. But me not do what them do.
Absolutely. There's a saying, Wayne, renegade Wayne, that there is 7 brothers, 7 different minds.
That's true.
You know,
yeah.
So and, you know, there's another saying that I can't say on the program where they say that dog mind give him for a certain things. Dog eat a certain things. That's what a certain thing. That's what is mind. It's mind give him for. Right. So if a man decide to take on a particular thing, a fame thing that.
Yeah.
Then a business with him. You could have been a brother till you're fool. When me have the same mother and same father.
Yeah, because you're a sibling, and not even your kids know where you are, so boom, bam, bam. Because, you know, look on the father, look on somebody, look on somebody else, and say, okay, better over there, so I'm married and have him wife and kids, and I live film life, and, you know, might have me see all long, and, you know, you live somewhere different and all kind of things, and then here comes the police, and say, oh, prominent, them never talk about him or whatever, you know, we think of that, you know. You have to talk about some father. You look for some cousin.
It's almost like they want to put the focus.
Yes,
on the innocent,
somebody
the
in your
innocent
catch or something or
the
something.
person that is not involved. You want to switch the thing on him just by virtue of a family connection. This is wrong.
You understand? So you're putting that in the paper, so people start questioning that. So you want to raise something and say boom, bam, bam. Come out and talk, please. You know, Mikael Phillips, brother, by mother's side, I think he's a bigger brother. He my film, see Mikael there and him wife and them things. See my people, see me? See my family there. That time mom and the one on the right, me where you can look on your screen, Sandra, Minnie, I'm mom.
And daughters.
See daughter there, see wife there, see kids them there, see life for the man and see there.
It's a team life.
Absolutely. So we're not going to get carried. We're not going to get carried away. There are a lot of things that are happening right now that we need to basically stay focused. We need to hold the government accountable. See, we have just closed 2022 with the crime figure surpass last year.
Of course,
we have also closed the year with fatalities on the road. Surpassed 2021 as well. And we have seen both murder and carnage on the road continues unabated. Unabated. None. And these are some of the things that we must talk about. We are now into 2023 with 60% of our population still being asked to survive at $9,000 per week.
And Mark, Conrad, most of them, although them been asked to survive on it, remember most of them not even at work. Them asked to survive on dirt.
Well, we're talking about that 60% of
population not working. Yes.
The workforce that is on the
workforce.
But we have another 13% who are below the poverty line.
Yes.
That means they're not even earning that. And those are some of the things that we must basically hold the government responsible to. We must also look at this whole business of the SOE. Where is it going? Billions and billions of dollars being spent to keep this SOE going. For some people in the private sector to continue to make money. Because it's them a supply the water, it's them a supply the juice, and them a supply the lunch. And God bless whatever officers them getting for lunch.
That's true.
We burn the fire hard around here,
We don't play with them, man. Them know the renegade not afraid, so,
That's why them dub you as the renegade and I as the fireman, because we're not holding no prisoners around here.
Them know, man.
Because our brothers and sisters are dead in around here.
Oh, them know. We're not hold them. We're not hold a stitch, man. We talk up the thing. So we just come and tell them straight up. So the people them now have no speculation and who are planning to go do this. Make we focus on now the police will put out this. I wish the police that put out something on the nearly $4 billion worth of cocaine in the airport. Because this is an next airport. So I wish them that follow it up and release some things like this.
Absolutely, and give us some names, give us some indication as to who persons may connect to as well.
Yes.
Yeah, man. Since you can give us a speculation and you can put out this yet, I'm sure they have a theory as well.
Yes.
As to who may be connected to that massive fine.
Them know they're not. That's why I see them not talk it. We not see the Prime Minister come talk it. We not see National Security Minister. We not see the Commissioner of Police. None of them when I hear come say nothing. Up to now. Yeah?
No, man.
Them know who find out.
Yes, and when it's 2023, we still continue to ask some serious questions. We still asking the Prime Minister to respond to Jamaica and to tell the Jamaican people why in the first place a security advisor, national security advisor to the Prime Minister was important. And since the Commissioner of Police moved from that position, it no longer becomes important. It's vacant until now. Was it a situation to provide a job for your friend? To give him an additional big money different from the retirement amount that he left JDF with? Talk to it. Tell me what I want.
Yes.
You know, I spoke to a senior superintendent in the police force yesterday. And she said to me, that the cabinet reshuffle that is coming up, her person, she's hazarding a guess that her boss will resign as commissioner. Her boss, the commissioner of police,
yes,
will resign as commissioner, and he will be drafted. Somebody will give way in the Senate, and he will be the new minister of national security. You know why she said that?
Yeah.
She said for everything this man get promotion when him not performing. So the only perform. That is the kind of contempt that people in the police force have. And I'm saying I heard it from a female senior superintendent. A female superintendent. That is the level of just how they view what is happening. But poor thing them, they can't even talk loud. She was also saying to me that the reclassification where you're talking about,
yes,
they take away a $70,000 that they used to get. They used to get an additional 40. That 40 remain. But when they strip away the 70, the maximum that they will be able to earn by way of traveling is another 30. So what you're going to have now, they are already $40,000 out of pocket based on this reclass.
Can you imagine?
I was in church on Sunday, and a principal said when she got her pay month end gone, December pay, she got her pay was $1,000 less than what she used to get before. She called her colleague and said, "What is happening here?" The colleague said her oil was $100 short.
So tell me something. After everything gone up, the dollar dip value, you have to pay more for gas, you have to pay more for light bill, water, you have to pay more for basic items, food, everything. You have to travel to everything. And then you pay a cut on top of that. These are the prosperity.
There you go.
Fireman, this are the prosperity we are talking about.
Yeah, because what you're doing is they're rolling everything in taxes now. And people are worse off. People are worse off than they were before. Right? And I'm also going to put this in the public domain again, because I am committed to highlight these things.
Yes.
The president for the Civil Service Association, Mr. Grant, O'Neill Grant, I think he owed his colleague and by extension Jamaica some explanation. Why was he in such a mighty rush to sign off on that reclass, which turned out to be a total disaster?
I know him gone over that. Tell me something, Conrad.
Hold on. I want to say this, that he signed off on it. He was prepared to break off the joint trade union Congress arrangement there. That Michael Manley, Hugh Larson Sierra, Hopeton Cavan, and a number of other trade union style fought for in order to sign off the deal to please the minister. And at the same time, guess what? He had an application in for a top job. If that is not corruption and conflict of interest, you tell me. And I challenge Mr. Grant to come and say otherwise.
No, because I do a program about him.
He probably going to threaten me with a law. He probably going to threaten me now.
I
challenge him to tell me that it looks good.
No, but we are telling him say, I'm not supposed to get the job. And we are telling him say, yeah, in the support, from him do that, him set out the people then, you know?
He must do the decent thing like Rocky Mead, man, and step away.
Yeah, man, he need to.
He need to step away. Do the decent thing like former JDF head Rocky Mead and step away on your ground. Don't look good at all. Not with this batch job. With this batch job.
It's bad, man.
And you are there. And you come and you're talking when you're asked question. You're not going to make up any apology for applying for any top job in Jamaica or whatever. And so on. But not even any kind of humility to say, well, on hindsight is 2020 vision, and in truth and in fact, I shouldn't have acted that way. You come and you're double down when you're wrong.
But,
out of order.
But tell me something, Conrad. They're supposed to have some safeguard mechanism for people like this. You the president for that trade union thing, and then him can just come and apply for tap. Him represent the people. Them.
No, he can. He can, because by virtue of his position in the civil, he's a civil servant, and generally,
but what me have said
hold on. No man, hold on. Generally, if he is qualified and so on, he can. But it's what
makes the morals. That's not the morals, brother. It will never.
What makes it so contemptuous is the fact that he was locked in a negotiation with the government, and it don't look good.
All right.
For him to
so me ask me, and same thing I said to your Conrad. So I say no. Okay, that means you can just. If him can, we have to put in something to safeguard the workers, right? Because let me show you something now. So, you are the president. So you can go make a deal with the government. You represent us. Thousands of us. More than 100,000. And then you can go sit down with the government and say, listen, me I go sign this. Me gonna save some money, what have you. Give me that job here. You know, see corruption this better. So you can just sign with our rights, or sign with our thing where you negotiate, and then you just step in and them give a job. You're coming like a Danville Walker to me. You're coming like a Danville Walker. But after you have safeguard, brother.
At the very least, Wayne, it is conflict of interest. Once you have conflict of interest. Because let's say, okay, then we give you a pass, and we're not prepared to call you out and say it's blatant corruption. But it is conflict of interest.
Of course.
And if you are in a job that you have conflict of interest, then you can't do that. At very best, what Mr. Grant should do is recuse himself from the negotiation and say, listen, fellow colleague, there's a position that is in government. I am applying for that position. Hence, I am taking away myself for the time being until the score is settled on this one. But for you to be there as the lead negotiator, that you can always be accused of currying favor.
That is very important. All right, flip it.
You must be seems to be beyond reproach, like Caesar's wife. You can't do that.
All right, so flip it. So you have a government now. I talk to one of the big companies in Jamaica, whether NTB or Grace Kennedy, and when you look, you give them all the waivers, and when we look, them put you leave government now, and when we look, them give a big job and put it on board. Wait, that's about that. You understand what I have said? It cannot work. These things must not work. We have to have safeguard. You understand what I have said? These things with corruption, brother.
You're correct with. It's the same thread. It's the same thread.
Then that means, brother, man, them things about corruption, brother, can't work, man. You'd have to out. Maybe you have to sit out for 5 years before you can apply to that company. That means we know, say, okay, you have to go support out a little bit. Because what you could have do anything for this company, and you are great, but we don't know. And then you just switch in a 1 month.
Absolutely. Because
that must the place, brother, that can't work, brother. Yes.
But because there are certain safeguards. Say, for example, in the private sector, when you offload certain assets or certain companies, that you have to sit out for a certain time before you get back into the similar business. And I'll draw one illustration. When Bunting, Deering, and Golden sold that company to Scotiabank, they could not go back into the same business right away. I think they had to sit out for about 5 years.
That's the same thing I'm talking about, brother. Same thing we are talking about. That's what I say. You have to sit out.
We have the info, you know, and we are with their own here. We're not going there.
Yeah, man. That's the same thing we are talking about. Because anybody can just sit there. All right, like how me see some people just sit down and when them talk, boom, bam, 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 when you look now, government give them the biggest contract and all kind of little things. You understand? You have some more piece with around here too, you know. We do it in a brother. When them talk, them say, oh, me make you win election, you know. I say, So they never did that talk, them act as a agent. Yeah? Because they think them talk up for the people then. You know? Them I tell you. And when things are go bad, them still did a whole on and I said, good. But when them under pressure now, them start come out and push out a little thing now and start do a little, you know, survey this and put it up and do this. Because them not honest to themselves. Well, we have to hold them honest, you know, in a business, you know, because we're not big friend.
Absolutely. We because of my engagement and you know, it was at short notice the engagement.
Yes.
I have something else. I don't know if you want to engage me for a few more minutes.
Yes.
But I have to leave you shortly.
Yes, no problem. No problem.
Right.
As I was saying though.
But before I go, Will, before I go, I just want to put this out there. We understand that the Vale Royal talk is back on the horizon.
Mm-hmm.
And we know that the Prime Minister of Jamaica, the Most Honorable Andrew Holness, he gets into these things when it suits him. But when he decides that he's going to do certain things, he goes on his own and the opposition is not important. No. I heard a news item this morning on one of the mainstream media here in Jamaica. And the newly minted PSOJ president, Mr. Metrosiaga, said that the PSOJ, that's a private sector organization, they are supporting the SOE unless anything better comes up. So they are going into that meeting with a preconceived idea of supporting the SOE. So Mark Gordon and the PNP is going in with 2 against 1 right away. And I'm urging the opposition to understand its role in terms of lobbying and dealing with things for the people of Jamaica and what is right, what the Constitution speaks to. And I have every confidence that Mark Jefferson Golden will carry out his job with a plum and do the right thing for the Jamaican people.
Yes, man. So Mrs. Siaga Mrs. Siaga, Missy Siaga, right? Missy Siaga, right?
Metri
Siaga. So I feel as a head of the PSOJ, will be all suspicious. Because we hold them up on suspicion, you know. The PSOJ, because they mash up the country. You know, me talk straight, me not go around corner. Yeah? Them feel them have a right to come and talk. Them think them can talk for people vote.
Well,
them feel so. The people of Jamaica to start boycott them. Because that them want, you know. Remember, we in a diaspora now, we work powerful, you know, them to be careful of themselves, you know. You understand?
Let's see what will happen. I'm not prepared to quite go there about the private sector mash of the country, but I have my opinion as to how they go about things. It seems as if what Mr. Metrosiaga is doing, he's following the same template as his predecessor, Keith Duncan. So they are basically singing from the same hymn sheet. Nothing changed.
So answer this question, right? If you have a country, Conrad, and your country are run with you remember, you know, Michael Monday, the Sir Joshua Monday used to tell you, self-reliance. Now we have a private sector organization of Jamaica. One good thing them do, them turn what them call them SCI, we call them IGLA. ICI. Okay. Yes. So them turn ICI now instead of building factories and creating jobs, because even if you do carrot juice and you plant the amount of carrot, right? That alone that create a lot of jobs. I mean, you have cock soup and you have to use the peppers and the onion and everything and these kind of things.
You could have created a lot more jobs. Value added is just not there, way.
So tell me something.
Value added not there. Value added not there. For years we have been talking about the whole business of processing. Yes. And the private sector have failed miserably.
All right, so you just answer me now, All right, so me not finish yet to answer part of what me I say. Okay. So tell me something. Is you and me
don't get me in trouble.
Well, I know. Well, I can't run. Yeah, this because you answer me now, Because when me talk, me just talk straight, so me can break it down. So is you, me, and our family are And we are import $6.8 billion US dollar worth of goods, junks every year. And then we export 1 billion.
No,
I mean, are you?
at all.
No, and I mean,
Not
are
at
you?
all.
And the poor people, then
Not
they
at
get to
all.
import over $6.8 billion worth of goods. Although we short
What
of
happened?
US.
What happened? Those marginalized people, those marginalized people that they for them and pay them little or nothing. What happened? They are the one who are consuming these goods that they are importing.
Okay, and you know what? With what now? With the same our money from the diaspora. Because we spend over nearly $4 billion to them, right? Every year. Okay. Right? We give them like nearly $4 billion every year. Okay, so without the diaspora, they can't survive. Remember, we're part of the diaspora too, you know. Because remember, you know, we run out of US by this. That's why I ask who mash up the country. Because if you not build factory, you're not drawing it, no foreign import, no foreign exchange, but you buy the import with the foreign money, or you don't get that. That means that them mash up the country, brother. We no self-reliance, brother.
You have a point, an important point that must be connected with that way.
Yes.
Is that this foreign exchange that coming into Jamaica,
yes,
is not going in hard currency in the people's hand. It's Jamaican money you get.
Thank
so
you.
What happened? That fell directly into the Bank of Jamaica and so on. So the government used this money to basically do what they must in and also the bank offload this to the private sector and so on to do these things. You know, they are not doing things to really benefit the people. I'm going to share another thing with you quickly. Yes. And I mentioned it yesterday on my program on News Talk 93 FM. And, you know, I said, I remind Jamaica when Mr. Arthur Shaw became Minister of Agriculture. Here's the man who headed RADA at the time was my good friend Mikey Stern, former member of parliament for somewhere in Clarendon. Forget the name of the constituency now. And Michael came on my program in his capacity as head of RADA. And he said one of the centerpiece of the ministry under Shaw is that they were going to get into castor bean production in our massive way. It's the same thing that we call castor oil here.
Yeah, we know, yes.
We all know that, right? It's something that grows literally wild. Wherever you drop it grows. But because of the demand for it overseas, what they said that they wouldn't know is use some of the land that are not in production to have massive acreage. And we would get into that big time because there's a direct market all over the globe for the castor oil, right? And what happened? Absolutely nothing. And that is the low-hanging fruit, Wayne. You don't need to fertilize this. You don't have to give it water. It don't need nothing at all. All you need to do is just basically put more and more seedling into the ground and, you know, and harvest it and get going in the production of castor oil.
The other day again.
And here we are.
The other day again. With I think I see him out the show. Now in the tell about the cassava too. And DNG want to invest in a lot of cassava now because you know and then
I think the cassava thing.
Same thing they say about the cassava.
The cassava came into being with from Tufton, and then the PNP government changes. Roger was dealing with it, and then Shaw was supposed to plunge into it big time, and they dropped the ball. So it's really DNG really paying it some mind now because they are using it as a part of their product for the manufacture of their beer.
Let me ask the next question though.
All in us. Sorry, go ahead.
Let me ask the next question. So them say castor bean, but me ask a question. If the government mean good or them private sector, let me show you something simple, self-reliance. We could have feed yourself because food and water the stuff alive. Like here where you have everything else a vanity around you, you know. Gold can't eat, your clothes can't eat, the TV, nothing else. Food. And we have water and we have the land. Right? So remember, you know, if you plant the yam, me see how China and them places sell yam for Jamaica yam right now, foreign and it's expensive. If you plant the yam, serious, you have to plant the yam, the banana, and all these food, and you talk to North America, instead of sending the farmers, give them the land. All right. For instance, let me tell you now, them they want to leach in 3,000 acres. Follow this. If you get leach in 3,000 acres, me and you work on the land, and we are plant the banana, them, and we are plant the yam, and we have a family to feed. If you come out with a banana, what happened to it? Police are going to charge because a last in that, right? But thief it, right?
Prison.
Okay. So if we don't want to send them people to prison,
we have example of that, you know.
Well, I'm not going to say something, you know.
Example of that as man will go to prison for a couple of
Okay, good. So if I mean like the government no, I'm want to create entrepreneurs. Remember, the man have reached them 70s already. We have to create entrepreneurs because we want to carry on and we want to get up and rise. So instead of you give one man 3,000 acre land, why you not give every them farmer with them family a half acre, or an acre? So they get 3,000. You get 3,000 farmer, 1 acre each. Then put them little thing them farm. Because when you farm permit, you could have feed the family. So if you want half an acre yam each from 500 farmer, them a plant the yam where you want, and them a plant banana to a plant, and the next man a plant him pepper and a plant where him want, right? But him can't feed him family. If him chop a banana, him a go prison. If him dig a yam for eat, him a go prison. No, him plant it. Him wanna go prison, and then him have what for sell. So him could have feed him family. You know there have him family help him, and him could have sell, and you the government market it, get your tax, and we are go to the country. When you wanna aisle, when aisle come in, brother, for do the aisle have them coming, them sending ship to for banana, yam, and plant and everything too. We for market something because we can do it and market it. We are take the aisle for around the country, but we not send out nothing, brother. And PSOJ, you take them a mass up my country, brother. So means a man may break it down long time, them a mass up my country. And a joke. Yes.
Excellent point you just made, Wade. And we can use history to buttress what you just said.
Yes.
That was the template that the late great Michael Manley had basically exposed or introduced to Jamaica. And that's why we had the land lease project and so on, and the cooperatives and all of that. That's why we had AMC, that market and so on. And he was ridiculed for it. People said when Michael Manley tell people to drink arrowroot porridge, which was the nutritional porridge, has nutrients second to none. Other politicians said that Michael Manley don't want poor people picnic to eat cornflakes. What is cornflakes? My friend. Bless up yourself.
All right, I'm here, yes, sir. Later.
All the best, and it's nice for you to invite
Tell the people them to come in and tune in for your radio station to man. Just remind the people them when you're on. Yes.
All right, cool. Well, you know, I host Straight Up News Talk 93 FM, and on Mondays and Tuesdays. It's 3 hosts on the program. Myself, Monday and Tuesday, we have Jermaine Barrett. He's on Wednesdays. And Friday, and Raymond Price, yes, that's Raymond Price, he hosts on Thursday. So I'm inviting you to join us on News Talk 93 FM. Those of you in Jamaica, you can join us on the radio band, wherever you pick us up, and also you can download the News Talk 93 FM app. We also stream live via www.newstalk93fm. Join me on Monday, Conrad O'Brian, the fireman, as we give it to you undiluted. We go straight to the heart of the matter.
All right, my brother. Don't say nothing. I'm here.
Respect Joe. Respect Joe. Bless
the renegade when I'm afraid, me there, brother. And listen, Conrad. Conrad. Well, I know, Conrad.
I'll have you soon.
Well, I know, my brother. They might hear we are talking, and some of them are listening and will say, we come from back to the 80s, you know, but we're not tell them nothing because sometimes I frighten them, you know.
Yeah, man.
Don't say nothing.
I'm not today.
No, we're not say nothing to them. Later, brother. All right, bless.
Bless up yourself.
Yeah, man. Cool.
One love, my friend. Cool.
Yeah, man. That's it, good, man. See, as we just come and say, you know, we keep it real, run us, sir. I'm going to tell you, say, we have, you know, ears up on the ground. You know, and them can't go around. We'll break down the thing them. Alright? So my sister time I run out now and I have to run, but little later, soon forward, yeah? Lonesome? I'm up. Bless.